come from that. And then after New York, to continue this, continue the tour. I will do it from somebody's living room if that's what they want, to a huge theater or a hospital room or a conference center, whatever. I mean, it's very portable. It's very flexible. We made sure that when we staged this, the power and the impact was in the performance and in the text. And so it's nice to have lights and music, and sure, that makes it very theatrical, but it can come across just as strongly without it, So, and also the Fringe Festival. I mean, it's very minimal, so we knew that we had to work with that as well. And plus, we're coming from Arizona to New York, so we have to travel as lightly as possible. I could share how people can get in touch with me if they want to support the Fringe Festival, the Death Monologues going to the Fringe Festivals, and or setting up a performance somewhere in the country, in their facilities or in theaters. My website is www.deathmonologues.com. And there's a contact page which has my email and my phone number, and you can also fill out a form there which will give me your email, and then I can contact you if you prefer to do it that way. On the website itself, www.deathmonologues.com, there is a link that you click right on it. It says, if you'd like to support the Fringe Fest or the Death Monologues getting to New York, click here, and it'll take you right to the Indiegogo campaign, and you can donate right there on the nose. They make it very easy.
Well, that's fantastic, and I'll just say I made a donation to the Indiegogo campaign, and it was very easy. And I know I have a little gift coming in the mail, they told me, for making a donation. So I get a picture of death, so from the play.
Yes, there's different perks. Like if you donate different amounts, they have some different perks that you get. So you do get gifts if you donate, and that will be as soon as the campaign closes. Then we can get all that facilitated. So you probably receive it somewhere in August, just so people know where their gifts are.
Yeah, the gift doesn't come immediately. It comes at the end of the the campaign cycle.
Yes. And thank you, by the way, Karen, for your donation, and thank everybody who's donated and for having me on this. I was so excited. This is my first my first interview, so it's very special. I'm very honored.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Well, through End of Life University, one of my goals is to just create a network and be a connector for people out there in all sorts of venues and arenas who are trying to promote messages about the end of life. And so I figure by being able to introduce you to the listeners of End of Life University and possibly helping make some connections, and we'll find people who are looking for a performance to come to their community, who feel like that would be the perfect thing to offer. As I was going to say, if you're a hospice in a community trying to educate your community and trying to support the community, you get a little tired of just having speakers come, and offering events like that. That I think the idea of offering a theatrical performance is really fun and something exciting and different that would be a really nice gift to give to the community. So that's what I'm hoping, that people will hear this and get inspired to get in touch with you.
Thank you. Me too. I hope so too. One of the ideas that I had was through the whole show, death comes in and out of before and after each monologue, and death. I had such a strong feeling and idea about who and how this character looks and feels, and it was by far the hardest one to actually, create as an actress. the costumes went from every end of the spectrum. I couldn't find the right one. And it was, in the end, it was about, it's not the outside, it's about the inside. And once you get that internal character, when it's real for you, when it's right, it doesn't matter what he wears or she wears. So it was a long journey, a hard one, lots of tears, lots of discussion with Kathy, the director, and finally Death has been born. And I tell you, you asked me what good compliments, there were people that actually came up and said, oh my God, I love the character of Death. And isn't that interesting? Here you are taking on a ride, and when Death comes on stage, you're happy. You're like, oh, I can't wait to hear what he has to say again, you know? So one of the ideas was to even present the conversations in this character, because it keeps it in that space where, I don't know, it's just something to play with, but that, facilitating a workshop is like, okay, so here's Death, and then it's not so personal, because the message that came through Death isn't personal. It's definitely Death's message, So, yeah, that's just something I had in mind, too, how to make these workshops and, follow-ups more interesting and fun,
Mm-hmm. Well, one other question that came through was to ask, have you ever, or would you ever modify your presentation based on the audience's feedback? Is it something, do you feel that you'll keep kind of rewriting and changing the performance a bit based on feedback you get?
Anything is possible. I know that the monologues are I wouldn't rewrite my mom's monologue, because it is what it is, and that was my personal journey, and a few of the other ones. If you're talking about the character Death, we have talked about more things that can be included, or for example, like he loves to dance and loves to tell jokes and loves a good magic trick, now you're here, now you're not, So to maybe incorporate a little more of that playfulness, like more dance in the show and this kind of thing, that's definitely something we talked about. Another thing is we don't really talk about grief much in the play, but that was a conscious choice, because it's not about the before or the after. We don't talk about afterlife. We don't talk about anything religious. We don't talk about, spirituality. We're just talking about that moment of the death. So it's not about the grief, because that's after the death, But that could be something that, based on people's needs and reactions, could start playing into it. I have no idea. I would have to see how it evolves, but it might not. It might just be how it is. But the answer being anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the last few minutes that we have for our conversation, Giselle, I was wondering, do you have a favorite excerpt or passage from the play that you would want to just perform for us as we listen in?
Yes. Let me think. There's a few. I'll start with one, and we'll see and maybe I'll include the last piece too. Okay, so here goes. This is Death, okay? Seriously, folks, we got to talk. I am not the enemy. I cannot be the enemy. I am part of you. You are born with your death woven into the fabric of your life. We are not separate. I am the only guarantee in life. I am your destiny, and I love you unconditionally. So the best is saved for last. And then the last little piece I wanted to do, this comes
wow.
at the very end.
I just want to say I love that. I love that imagery that death is woven into the tapestry of our life. That's incredible. That's very profound. Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead with the next one.
And this is appropriate for the ending of our interview as well. So this one goes like this. Every story must come to an end. You try to find meaning in death in order to give meaning to life, And therein lies the paradox, my loves. The meaning of your death lies in those who continue to live. It is death that feeds life. That's it.
Wow, that's beautiful. Very profound.
Thank you.
Wow, I can see why the audience is very moved. The notion that death loves us unconditionally and death is our destiny, that's very moving to me and very profound. I can't wait to see the play. So I have that opportunity.
I hope so too. We could talk about that because you're in Utah, right?
No, Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. Yes. Okay. Yeah. We should talk about that.
Yes, definitely. Well, Giselle, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. I don't see any more questions. I'm going to check one more time, though, to make sure if anyone typed another one in on the webcast. But nope, I don't see any more. So it's been a pleasure to talk to you and just to hear about your own journey and how this remarkable work that you've done, not only in facing up to your own fear of death and dying and providing the care your mother needed and being there for her when she needed you, but then being able to weave all of that into your other passion for theater and create this beautiful piece. I am so excited for you, and I'm very excited to hear what happens with the death monologues as you go out into the world with it and have more and more audiences to share it with.
Oh, I'm excited too, and I also want to thank you so much for this interview. It feels really right and good, and I'm also excited, and it's interesting how it is already shifting, just the fact that you have the online university of the end of life and, artists like myself being called to make a theater performance called the Death Monologues. I used to have a line in there going, what a brave crowd you are coming out into the night to see the Death Monologue. But now the director says that as she welcomes the audience, to kind of like, brave crowd you are. But yeah, and other people doing it in so many unique ways. So I feel like we're in this together, and those who are drawn to it are definitely in the most heart-opening, generous support of it, and it's so great to be part of that movement, really.
Well, I'll remind people listening, you can go to deathmonologues.com is the website, and you can find out there if you'd like to make a donation. Anything, a few dollars even, would help the cause toward getting this play to New York City. But then you can also connect with Giselle through the website if you have any interest in bringing the Death Monologues to your community, so that everyone where you live can benefit from this beautiful play. So
sure.
Thank you, Giselle.
Sure.
Oh, go ahead.
And if they just want to share any insight or just contact, if they just want to connect, share their story or anything, that's totally welcome too, just to make that clear.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic. So it's Death Monologues with an S .com.
Yeah.
Okay. deathmonologues.com. So thank you so much, EOLUSuarez, for being with us today on End of Life University. It's been a real pleasure to talk with you. And I want to thank all the listeners out there today who tuned in, or if you're listening later to the replay. I appreciate your support for End of Life University. Just being here, listening to these interesting conversations means a lot to me, to know that there are people out there who want to hear what we have to talk about. So please invite your friends to join in to sign up for End of Life University.